At Richmond Crescent for the final quarter, GDFL match of the day, round 10 between Eastern Suburbs and Werribee Centrals. And at three-quarter time, the Centurions hold a 38-point lead, 11-12-78. Eastern Suburbs 6-4-40. And a couple of big-name players off the ground for the Eagles, Andy Reuter and Craig McGough, who won't help their cause in this final term, as umpire Nellis holds the ball aloft for the start of the fourth quarter. Good bounce down to Ferguson in the ruck now for Eastern Suburbs with Reuter off the ground, and he gets a kick off the ground towards Timms. Good pick up, left foot kick around the corner. An early goal is what they need, the Eagles. Buck was in front and then lost his feet. O'Leary, kick around the corner. Galauka and Singleton. Goes in the front of the pack. Singleton recovers the better, but can't pick the footy up. Off the ground, Wembridge out there wide, and Bernardo right on his tail to make sure it's out of bounds.
Peter Scriptic also on the ground now for the Centrals.
Yes, I'm just trying to pick up who went off.
Boundary throwing, right forward pocket. Opportunity O'Leary at the back of the pack. Good work there was from Delaney. That was Barry. Into Vong goes in. Murray also taps it forward. Looking there for Gunkiao into Vong. But some good pressure there, Scotty Johnson. And also Justin Morley. Sees the ball out of bounds right half forward. Right in front of the members' smoker stand here at Richmond Crescent. Margin is 38 points. Werribee Centrals in front.
Luddick, in fact, it was Morley. Goes towards Luddick now, and also Craig Darlow. And they push it up towards just the attacking side of centre wing. And we'll have another boundary throw in. As I said, Ferguson in the ruck against Sean Stewart with Reuter off the ground. And he gets a thump to it. Wembridge, handball partly from the Delaney, works hard again. And O'Leary tackles him. Burton, Radford, leaves it for Evans, who runs to the pack, gets one high, no free kick. Radford goes towards Lang and Height. Height pushed in the back by Lang there. Getting back there, Scriptic, and he's on hands and knees with Intervong. And nobody can pick the footy up, so come in and bounce the ball, please, Umpy.
Got a little bit scrappy, hasn't it,
Yeah,
Jason?
It has a little bit.
Good game early, but it's got very scrappy.
Just unfortunately, that little bit of rain we had at half times made the surface on at Eastern Suburbs a little bit slippery, and the ball is like a cake of soap, unfortunately.
I think they should have changed the ball over at three-quarter time.
Well, Cat's got the extra footy up there in the timekeeper's box. He doesn't like letting the footies go. Comes out towards Galauka now from that ruck contest. O'Leary, sharp little handball, Singleton, and he finished it off with another goal. He's played well, but he's missed on this occasion. And one behind. Done very well this afternoon, Daniel Singleton. And has another game tomorrow afternoon with the GDFL under-17 side playing the GFL at West Oval. So a busy weekend for him. Buck to kick in. Elects to go to the outer side. And looking for Barry Delaney. Height will shepherd for him. Barry Delaney, handball to Scotty Johnson, who is in space. And turns around, measures the pass towards Matheson back on the ground. Stefanovski right next to him. Out of bounds at half foot on the outer side for the Centurions. They lead 11-12-78. Eastern Suburbs 6-5-41 on the Beaumont's Pies and Cakes and the Car Ranch final quarter scoreboard.
Ball is at right half forward. Werribee into attack. Matheson sharks the ball out of the ruck contest. Does well there to Bernardo. His left foot kick up into the pocket. Can't find anyone in particular. Over his teammate's head there, I think, in Craig Darlow. And it's out of bounds. Some 40 metres now from the Werribee Central goal. They lead by 37 points. Early stages of the final quarter. GDFL footy match of the day here at Richmond Crescent.
Darlow goes to the left boot towards Heath Buck and also Loughton, who run out of pace. They both slip over now. Heath Buck, good work, second effort, gives it to Luddick, then gives it to Chris Delaney. He gives it to Burton, gets around onto that favourite right boot as he swung it around far enough in front. Matheson, good grab.
Wrong side for a left footer, though.
Yes, David Matheson, who's kicked 3 goals, 1 this afternoon, on the wrong side for a left footer in the pocket, the left full forward pocket. And we see Heath Buck coming off the ground. And
just don't go off there, son.
I was going to say, come straight off the ground, Heath, and you won't be allowed back on. So he's off the ground and won't be coming back on. Matheson has kicked it straight across the ground, out of bounds on the full. Dennis Cunningham back on for Heath Buck. So Buck, not through the interchange bench, will not be allowed to come back on.
No, it doesn't look too good. I think he might have a stomach or groin problem.
So the free kick to taken for the Eagles by Robbie Reuter in the right back pocket. Kicks it long towards half-back. Pack of players, big thump away by height at the back. Delaney off the ground, gathers about 15 metres. And Craig Darlow can't keep it in, so a boundary thrown about 25 metres around from the Centurion goal. It's 11-12 to 6-5. The Sting's gone out of the game since half-time with that unfortunate shower of rain at half-time. Players have been finding it difficult to handle the footy. Ferguson in front in the ruck. Gives it away towards Robbie Reuter and Delaney, but it's out of bounds again. Don't forget, we'll be giving our 3, 2 and 1 for our guest video player of the day and Beaumont's Pies and Cakes player of the day at the end of this quarter. And it'll be a quick pack-up too, because Ronnie's got to go and celebrate some of his millionaire's mate's birthday, so that'll be good.
Thank you very much. Good work again, Matheson in front there in the boundary throw-in contest. But well cleared there by Wembridge for the Suburbs. Goes out wide. Looks there for Mick O'Leary, but he met his match on that occasion. I think it was Justin Morley. Good use of the body. Took him out of the encounter. It was actually Adrian Bernarda. Boundary throw-in again at half forward. Good work there from the big man Stewart. Got it to Edgar. Quickly kicks up there, but again, the defence doing well there for the Suburbs. You'll find that was young Cunningham, was it?
Yes.
Yep. As the ball was cleared, Danny Irving, I'm sorry. Sun shining here, and just making it a little tricky here as we're looking up to the Kidinia Park end of Richmond Crescent. Ball now is out of bounds. Left half forward. Werribee into attack. Latford went without the footy, but it's kicked off the carpet again. Bernarda to centre half forward. Bit of dash. Wayne Burton, beautifully done. Looks to the lead there of the big fella in Matheson. Had 2 to beat. Ferguson and Stefanovski. It's over those players' heads, and it's out of bounds. Right forward pocket, 25 metres from the Werribee goal.
Werribee Central's 11-12, lead Eastern Suburbs 6-5. It's 37 points of difference. Boundary throw in. Darlow stands there with Ferguson. Comes to the front of the pack. Little kick out. Can't be picked up there by Chris Delaney. And can't keep it in the Centurion. So another boundary throw in. So since half-time, Eastern Suburbs have kicked 1 goal and Werribee Centrals haven't kicked 1. So a real flurry of goals since half-time. 1.
Matheson again. Doing well in the contest, but yeah, it's becoming a little bit tough out there for the players, because that ball is still awfully slippery after that downpour we got in that early stages of the third quarter. Play conditions very tough for both sides. Loughton at the back of the pack was good, but oh, you wouldn't believe it. He hit it straight down the throat of Barry Delaney. His left foot shot at goal goes right across the face, and it's out of bounds.
Robbie, he's actually one who's handled the conditions pretty well, Barry Delaney. He picked up the footy pretty well.
Very, very well. Very well. You have to admit that he's handled the ball when all other people couldn't handle it in these slippery conditions here.
Boundary thrown in the left back pocket now for the Eagles, and Sean Stewart gives it to Chris Delaney. Gets it around the corner. Robbie Reuter pushes out in front of him. Darlow on the chase. Spicer comes across also. Good work, Robbie Reuter, in his unaccustomed role in the back line for the Eagles, and it gains about 50 metres, and it's now on the outer side, half back flank for the Eagles.
And if Dave Mewett's listening in the Eastern Suburbs room, so we have run out of refreshments, David.
I'm sure he'll be here in a couple of minutes now. Stewart, Cunningham also up, and players just can't pick up the footy at the moment. Delaney can and gives a handball out to Adrian Bernardo. His kick smothered. And the boundary umpire is getting a lot of work at the moment.
He looks a bit euchre too, poor old Dominic Valenti out there, doesn't he? He'll sleep well tonight. Throws it in though. Good work, Dom. As we see Cunningham up high there for the Centurions. Little toe poke. Goes to the direction there of Bernardo. Hand pass. Intercepted. Intervong was good. The youngster kicks it long up the half forward, but in front, Carl Smith does well for the Werribee side. And he'll take the football out of side centre wing here at Richmond Crescent, where Werribee Central's enjoying a 37-point advantage over the Eastern Suburbs Eagles.
Smith goes long towards half forward, big pack there. Pick a player out to mark, none can. Intervong in front, can't take it with him. Handball out, sharp, gets it across towards Bernardo, goes up towards Burton. Oh, good play, then picked off the footy. And we'll get a free kick for a hold against Shane Evans there. Dwayne Burton at half forward. Wants to get it moving quickly. Matheson was giving him half a lead. Chris Delaney down there also. Ferguson back there on him now. So Short little kick in. Delaney gave him a lead. That's Chris, and he's taken the mark in the right forward pocket. About 35 metres out from goal. Pretty acute angle.
He's made it a bit more difficult, hasn't he? Like,
yeah.
With the way Dwayne Burton kicks the ball, he may well have been better going for one himself from there.
So Chris Delaney on the boundary line on the cricket pitch area here at Richmond Crescent. We'll have a shot for goal. And a big pack down there waiting for the ball to come. Deliberate in his run-up. And that is a pretty good kick off the boot.
Don't tell me he's kicked it.
He's kicked it.
For a behind.
Well,
I tell you what, it looked pretty convincing from here. That wasn't very... You
can never take umpire Gilson as a guide, can you?
Took his time, and a good kick off the boot there was from Barry Delaney.
Chris Delaney.
Sorry.
Stefanowski kicks in and goes short to Scotty Ferguson. He goes wide towards Loughton. If it hits through him, he's away, and it does. And he's on the wing. And he goes with the left boot towards centre half forward. Up there was Lee and also Allison. Getting back there, Carl Smith. Good little pick-up. Just wants the safety of the boundary line and finds it. So Eastern Suburbs 6-5-41. They trail Werribee Central's 11-13-79 on the Beaumont's Pies and Cakes and the Car Ranch final quarter scoreboard.
Disguised his intentions well then, didn't he, Carl Smith? Very clever football.
So the big pack that was in the Eastern Suburbs forward line is now, in fact, in the Werribee Central's forward line, has transversed itself to the Eastern Suburbs forward line. Lang is one of about 15 players around the footy. And umpire Pratlev will come in and bounce the ball at half forward on the outer side. The Eagles attacking in front of the Eastern Suburbs scoreboard here at Richmond Crescent. Ferguson running down to do the ruck work for the Eagles. Up against Stewart, who gets his left hand to it. Towards Singleton, can't take it with him. Smith getting back there, gives it to Galauka. He's under pressure, as most of the second half has been for both sides. And another ball up. So the umpires earning their money this afternoon. We've been playing 11 minutes in this final term on the Bannockburn Sporting Trophy's time clock. Stewart goes up.
Yeah, good work.
Hit the Vong. Got it wide. That's a throw by Wembridge.
Umpire was in very, very good position to see that one.
He was. He was right in front of him, and Glenn Height gets the free kick at centre half back for the Centurions.
Hasn't been as dominating as the first time you saw him, fellas.
So he's had a different role today, hasn't he, Grubb? Being at centre half back, but
still play well on Peter Lang when he was there.
Yeah, he has. He had the job, and but we saw him the last time played in the ruck when Sean Stewart was out of the side and played extremely well. So they've got a couple of good, big guys. Galauka goes towards half back, free kick, and it's going against Werribee. It's going to Shane Evans. It's against Justin Morley.
Yeah, a little bit high there.
Yep. Evans gives it to Robbie Reuter, and the veteran goes along with the right boot towards O'Leary. Coming from behind, good thump away, Gareth Buck. Galauka can't take it with him. Glenn Height just for the safety of the boundary line and finds it about 25 metres around from the equal goal.
I thought, Grubb, that Glenn Height had an ankle problem, but he's got a left bandage on his knee as well.
Well, I don't know. He must have put it on the wrong spot, Ron. he's not the cleverest fella at the club.
O'Leary goes towards Lang. Two bites of the cherry, can't take the mark. Singleton. Good tackle, big man Sean Stewart, and the ball dribbles over the boundary line for another throw-in. Around about the same spot as the umpire put it down last time, or threw it in last time. About 25 metres around from the Eagle goal. In front, Stewart. Down towards Barry Delaney. O'Leary there also. O'Leary, and the boundary umpire will do it all again. And that's what's been happening in the second half. A lot of boundary throw-ins, a lot of scrappy play. And only one goal scored in the second half between these two sides.
Over the back, good work there was from Magic Lee. Got it down to the direction of his teammate, who quickly kicks from a standing start, and that looks like Carl Smith. Ball is well marked here, though, for the Suburbs by Mark Buckingham. Kicks down from 45. Up they go. Oh, nearly a nice grab there taken by Timms. Coming across the face of the pack, that was a big effort from the youngster. But second bite of the cherry couldn't quite be taken. And Peter Lang gingerly picks himself off the turf here at Richmond Crescent. Handles the ball to umpire Petlove, And it's about 10 metres out now from the Suburbs goal. As we see that an opportunity again, Morley does well. Pushed through though by Peter Lang. That's another minor score on the board to the Suburbs.
So they go to 6-6-42, the Eagles. The Centurions 11-13-79 on the Beaumont's Pies and Cakes in the Car Ranch final quarter scoreboard. And we've been playing 14.5 minutes in this final term on the Bannockburn Sporting Trophies time clock. Buck to kick in, elects to go to the outer side, looking for Lee. Over the back of the pack, Sheehan. Just ripped off the footy by Glenn Height. And it's out of bounds about 45 metres around from the Eagle goal.
Interesting grab. I see a couple of Werribee boys wearing the gloves. Your thoughts?
Well, I don't hold with them myself because, as same as you, Ronnie, we played in a day where there were no gloves. But if the players believe they help them out, I think a lot of it's psychological, by the way. If they want to wear them, well and good. Are you allowed to wear them, by the way?
Yes, you are. Just junior footy you're not allowed to, actually. But senior footy you are allowed to wear the gloves. Robbie Edgar back on the ground for the Centurions. Chris Delaney off. Another boundary throw-in. Glenn Height, Lang there also. Through the middle of the pack there was Sheehan. And the boundary umpire will be throwing the ball in his sleep tonight after the efforts of this afternoon in the second half. Another boundary throw-in. And Allison's there. Stewart, big thump away. Morley goes for the fresh air shot. Interbong back there also. Handball to nobody in particular. Sheehan just tries to pump it on. And it goes to Interbong again. Handball in close quarters is okay to Allison. That's Simon Allison. Wobbly kick towards Timms at full for good mark. Two grabber. And has taken the mark in front of Gareth Buck.
Commits his body well. And also he should too. He's a fair lump of a lad, isn't he?
He
David
is.
Timms. And an opportunity here. He has kicked one goal here this afternoon for the Eastern Suburbs side. And if they need one, it is now. About 17 minutes gone off this final quarter. Dave Timms from, only 15 metres out, just drop punts, a nice, gentle drop punts right through the middle. Kicks his second and a very handy seventh goal for the Suburbs.
Yep, 7-6-48, the Eagles. The Centurions 11-13-79 on the Beaumont's Pies and Cakes in the Car Ranch final quarter scoreboard. And Grubby, that first quarter with the breeze will prove the difference in this game.
It will, yes. There was 7-goal first quarter. Just getting back to that last kick, I hate to see that, like when you're only 15 metres out. Even though it still went through for a goal, those little stab kicks, you should always kick through the ball, Jason.
You should, yes. He just pushed it over the top of the umpire's head then, and really didn't kick through the footy. But it's his second goal. And they cut the margin to 31 points. Back in the centre, Stewart and Ferguson. Ferguson with the thump away. Heights tried to push it on. Didn't get it very far. Bernardo, little toe poke, then another one. Johnson over the top of the footy. And Ferguson in there also. Secondary bounce in the middle of Eastern Suburbs, which we have already stated is in fantastic condition. And Scotty Johnson just getting up limping. Big pack around the ball, as there has been for most of the second half. Good bounce down two. Nice and hard in the middle of Richmond Crescent. Comes to Johnson now. Right foot kick towards centre half forward. Oh, Darlow.
What a great player is Darlow.
Just used his strength there against the 65-kilo man, Robbie Reuter. It goes up long towards Luddick and Buckingham. Luddick.
Stages.
Yes. He was looking for the trip then, but didn't get it. Buckingham over the top, and it's out of bounds for a boundary throw-in in the Central's forward pocket.
Here's time just ticking away. Nearly 20 minutes gone off this final quarter. And I think players will be very pleased to hit the final siren because it's been pretty tough out here this afternoon. Good thump away there by Ferguson. Up there, but it's sharked well by Scriptigue. Quick hands to young Bassett Delaney. Skipper kicks it across the face of goal. Coming out strong was Buckingham, but he met his match and got decked. As we said, back of players. The ball now in that right foot. As we wait now on the boundary umpire in Dominic Vallanti again. Throws it in. It's a beauty. Gives every player opportunity. Ferguson does well again for the Suburbs, but again the players are unable to handle the ball at ground level cleanly. And umpire will bounce down. Margin is back to 31 points now. Werribee Centrals will retain that top spot on the Geelong District Football League ladder. at the completion of round 10.
And Grub, you wouldn't see too many games won by a side without kicking a goal in the second half.
I was just thinking that the same thing myself, Jason. I thought, gee, I hope they kick a goal in the second half. But no, that's not very often, no.
Comes out towards Intervong, who's played pretty well this afternoon for the Eagles, the youngster. Most of the youngsters have for the Eagles. Morley will trap it, handball over the top to Scotty Johnson. He drew Murray out, and then Johnson just into Craig Darlow. Donuts, is that what we call him?
That's it, Zoe.
No, it's Knuckles.
Well, Knuckles has got it. Centre-half forward. He's over pinging him too. He's backing himself from 50. The drop punt, it's not a bad looking kick off the boot. It's just been touched on the line.
On the line.
So, Werribee Centrals go to 11-14-80. Adelaide Eastern Suburbs 7-6-48 on the Beaumont's Pies and Cakes in the Car Ranch final quarter scoreboard. In the second half, Werribee Centrals have kicked 5 behind. Short little kick in by Stefanowski to Ferguson. Switches play from the left back pocket across the ground to the outer side for Sheehan. Over his head, Lang and also Glenn Height, two of the bigger boys on the ground. Height tried to tap it towards the boundary line, but only as far as Lang, who got his right boot to it towards half forward. Allison and Lee. Allison, good mark. Second grab. And takes it at half forward. The lead's on from Timms. He goes in that direction. Over his head. Now O'Leary will be in. He'll be able to turn around and kick a goal if he measures the pass. Oh, he's missed it.
That's another goal, isn't it? Well, that's where his last one went.
So 2 goals, 1 for Sean O'Leary. 7-7-49 Eastern Suburbs. Werribee Centrals 11-14-80. Beaumont's Pies and Cakes in the Car Ranch final quarter scoreboard.
Just on that point, with the no goals in the second half too, Jason, I don't think it's because the Centrals have taken their foot off the pedal. Eastern Suburbs just keep coming at you and have played pretty good football. Yep. And the conditions haven't really suited them to kick a heap of goals like we did early.
Well, I mean, that's the same. Eastern Suburbs has kicked 2 goals since half-time, so there's only been 2 goals scored.
Yeah.
Well, that's why the cameras and the Radio Country FM is here this afternoon, because Werribee and Eastern Suburbs, they're in third spot on the tree with 6 wins and 3 losses to date. As we see now, Murray at centre-half forward. Oh, didn't go hard enough for it, but Morley did. And clears the way out to the member side centre wing there. Looks to the 2, number 8, Guernsey's doing battle in Radford and Hawks. Radford wins out, but was just pushed as he kicked, and good work there from young Andy Hawks. Forced him over the line as he kicked, and the boundary umpire right on it. And we'll have to throw in members side centre wing. Stewart in front, good work, hits over the back. Ball squeezes to the direction of Sean O'Leary. Has a look and then decides to go long. Timms comes out, yeah, good mark. It was a tumbling punt from Sean O'Leary. But a nice grab take it, David Timms.
So Timms, who's kicked 2 goals this afternoon, he's going back an awful long way. He's nearly going to start this run up in the centre of the ground. He's kicking from about 45 metres out. Just to cut the margin to 25 points. Good kick off the boot too. Is it touched on the line by Glenn Hyde? I don't think so. It's a goal. Yes, it is. So Tim's 3rd goal. And they're 8-7-55. Werribee Centrals 11-14-80 on the Beaumont's Pies and Cakes in the Car Ranch final quarter scoreboard. And we've been playing 22.5 minutes on the Bannockburn Sporting Trophies time clock. So 25 points difference. It's probably a little bit too late for the suburbs.
Good fighting qualities, though, for the suburbs. The youngsters have stuck to their task, and only for that first quarter advantage that Werribee did enjoy, and picking up that 41-point lead, I think it was at quarter time, it would have been a lot more interesting on the scoreboard, Jace.
Certainly would have been. Sean O'Leary in the middle now, too, having a bit of a run. And still in the middle now, Wembridge. Quick kick out, Murray. And also Hawks coming across for the Centurions. Murray, good pick up. Then handball over the top to Scotty Ferguson. He can handball inboard to Radford. If he gives it back to Murray first. Murray tries to ride the bump, then drops the footy. In there working hard, Scotty Johnson. Over the top of the footy, into Vong. Little toe poke, then tried to pick it up. Bernardo right next to him. Good play by Bernardo. Galauka coming out, soccer style. Back towards the wing, Scotty Johnson. Grabs it, then ripped off the footy, Scotty Ferguson. Lang runs away. Measures the pass towards Simon Allison, and it's okay. Takes the chest mark in front of James Lee. Allison now on right half forward. Timms gives him the lead. Sean O'Leary there also. Timms wants it long, so he goes long, and it's a good kick too. All he has to do is shepherd it, but good thump away Gareth Buck for a rush behind to the Eagles.
Coming home with a wet sail of the Suburbs, and very impressed. They're still peppering the goals. Margin now back to 24 points.
Very interesting, Ron, that I thought Sean Stewart was playing very, very well until Andrew Reuter went off the ground, and he hasn't quite played as well since, which we thought would have went the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Morley, kick in from back pocket. Wembridge has got the mark at centre-half forward for the Eagles.
Great contributor here this afternoon for the Eastern Suburbs side as the ruck rover, Shane Wembridge, taking his time, now looks to the lead. Out wide there, Timms comes out and takes the mark.
Oh, not fade.
Deary me, had control of it for mine.
Mine too, Ron.
Mine too.
Comes out. Good support, kicks wide, but Buckingham comes out strong for the Suburbs and pumps it back to the pocket. Up they go. Well, nearly a nice mark again, O'Leary, but couldn't quite control the footy. It's off his hands out of bounds, about 35 metres now from the Eastern Suburbs goal. 24 points the margin here in this final quarter of the GFL round 10 match of the day. Time clock into time on to the final stanza.
Kick from the back of the pack there by Morley. Johnson, slick hands to Barry Delaney. His left foot kick towards half forward. Getting back there, Cunningham, and also Loughton. Cunningham kept his feet, then got a push in the back when he slipped over, and will take the free kick at half forward.
28.5 minutes gone. Blackburn Sporting trophies time clock. Sees now that Cunningham, long bomb up there to Matheson in front. Plays on quickly. Geddes looks up there for his teammate, but there's nobody home. Reuters there, but chipping in now was Luddick, but he overran the ball. Darlow, Knuckles is in there working hard. He can't control it. Ball spills to where O'Leary. That's Sean. Can't pick it up. Paddles it back to where Reuter tries to pick it up, but Donuts comes in. Don't tell me Knuckles Darlow's popped it through. He has. He's brought the flood.
Unbelievable. He's a fantastic player.
Great
I've got
goal.
to square up with him. But I must admit, like, he has been taken off the ground earlier, and it hasn't let him get him down. He's kept working very hard when he's come back on, and that's what I think a good side is all about. You've got to take the good with the bad, Jason.
So Werribee's first goal of the second half comes close to siren time, and it's their 12-12, 14-86. They lead Eastern Suburbs 8-56 on the Beaumont's Pies and Cakes in the Car Ranch final quarter scoreboard. And I can tell you that Hawthorn won by a goal at Cardinia Park over Geelong. So the Cats go down for 2 losses, and Hawthorn won by 6 points. So you're devastated, aren't you? You got your Cats jacket on too, Ronnie. You're devastated.
I'm not happy.
Not happy.
Hey, Geelong by 6. But never mind.
Back in the centre, Ferguson and Stewart. Stewart the big thump. Dennis Cunningham at half forward, and Robbie Reuter now falls to Knuckles again, and he gets his kick away. He goes long towards Matheson. Is it 2 in a minute?
I hope not.
No, it's not. And one behind to Craig Darlow. So they go to 12-15-87, the Centurions, and Eastern Suburbs 8-8-56. Kick in by Stefanowski to Irving. Back to Stefanowski. And he plays on now from stat side fullback. Goes long towards Murray and Johnson. Murray's got the sit. Can he take the mark? No, he can't. Johnson rips it off him. Handball to Hawks. He can handball to the big man. He elects to go short, though, with a kick to Barry Delaney, but he can't find him. Running across, though, Brad Spicer. He's still got it in the centre of the ground. Measures the pass towards Cunningham. Oh, take it to the second grab, did he? No, play on the call. The umpire said bottled up.
Didn't quite have enough of it.
Took some courage, too, going back to the flight of the footy.
Yeah.
It was Dennis Cunningham. Umpire a little bit tough.
Oh, I didn't quite have enough of it, Ron, I think.
Okay, Stewart again thumps it down, but it's Shark. Well, Danny Irving clears the ball out wide. Looks for the dash there of Sheehan. Spicer, though, in front. Or breaks the Sheehan tackle. Gets a quick kick into the pocket. Barry Delaney comes out. Hits the ball hard. But it's off his hands, and I think you'll find a siren has sounded. And a very convincing victory here this afternoon for the league leaders of GFL football this afternoon over Eastern Suburbs. Werribee Central's 31-point victors.
Yes, Werribee Central's 12-15-87. Eastern Suburbs 8-8-56. And in that final quarter, Werribee Central's kicked 1 goal, 3. Eastern Suburbs kicked 2 goals, 4. And the goal kickers for Werribee Central's 4 goals to Heath Buck, 3 goals to David Matheson, and singles to Dwayne Burton, Barry Delaney, Dennis Cunningham and Craig Darlow. While for Eastern Suburbs, 3 to David Timms, 2 to Sean O'Leary, 2 to Daniel Singleton, and 1 goal to Kiao Intervong. So a 31-point win for the Werribee Central side, which makes it 9 on the trot now, 9 wins in a row. And we might actually take a break.